I welcome everyone to the RRR247 team conference call. My name is Niall Eddy, though I am a upstate New York native. I'm living now in Southwest Florida, and I'm down here in a lot of fishing waterways and boats all around me, so it's almost heaven for me. But I'm still a Bills fan until the day I die. Just had to put that out there for the couple of upstaters that joined the call tonight. So I've been around this industry for 33 years now. And it's been a great life for me. I was a construction worker who hurt my back when I went to school to be an aviation mechanic. While I was going to aviation mechanic school, I was introduced to this industry. I didn't work there very long at all. And I was able to get the courage to just walk away from that new career and join this industry 33 years ago. I walked away from that job and I never looked back, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions ever made in my life, because it was something that just changed the whole course of my life. When I got started, it was just looking for a way to make some extra money to spoil my kids on the weekend. I was always all about my kids and used to take them camping every weekend or just find something fun for them to do. But it turned into something much more bigger than even I knew. And when I seen what this industry was all about, I just decided to dive in, be one of the best students of this industry that I could be. Followed a really good system that was put in front of me, and whatever I didn't know and with experience or knowledge about this industry, I just made up for with my effort. I poured my heart and soul into it, and it became a lot more than just giving my kids a little bit extra money on the weekend. After a couple of years in this industry, I found myself looking back at what was created and what was done, and I was actually making more in a couple of months than anybody I've ever known in my life was making an entire year. And I'm sure that's going to help everybody see how it changed the course of my life, right? But what was important to me was the time freedom that I have, the time I got to spend with my kids. I was one of those lucky dads who got to put my kids on the bus, take my kids off the bus, get involved with all the extracurricular activities. My son played football from Pee Wee football to high school, and I was at every practice all those years and every game. I had one of my daughters played volleyball. I was at all of those practices and every game as well. One of my daughters was in cheerleading. I helped her with cheerleading. I was even that dad who would get on the sidelines with the pom-poms and learn the moves and try to just make everybody laugh, right? And when the high school needed a bowling coach because they were going to get involved with the travel league bowling, I raised my hand and I became the bowling coach just because I could, and it gave me one more reason to spend more time with my kids. And all of you dads know what a blessing that is by itself, right? Usually that we got to come home, hopefully on time to have dinner with them, but usually just enough time to give them a kiss on the forehead, tell them you love them, take a bath, brush your teeth, go to bed, because dad's got to get up and go to work again tomorrow. So that's how it was before I was able to walk away and join this industry. So the time freedom that it gave me, it was just an absolute blessing. But also it was a career move that allowed me to provide for them better than I ever thought possible. So I've been around for 33 years now, but I've known the co-founders of this system, Rory and Tanya Rickard, for 29 years now. 29 of the 33 years I've been around, I've known them and been working with them in some way, shape, or form. When I met Rory, who I met first, he was a young kid working for a big telecommunication company out west, the old telephone line, right? And I was an entrepreneur trying to build my business around the country, trying to get out there and build even faster. I wanted to advertise in the top 300 newspapers. I was doing a mail order program at that time. Excuse me, sticking stuff in the mail every single day. And I needed a voicemail that I could run ads in all those newspapers around the country, just one voicemail, take it all in. And every time I would talk about it with voicemail, everybody would say, see Rory Rickard, see Rory Rickard, see Rory Rickard. He's the man to see Rory Rickard. So I picked up their phone and I got a hold of this guy named Rory Rickard. And he was a young guy, but he had a lot of passion for what he was building and what he was teaching to everybody. And he was a real friendly guy. He just loved teaching and loved helping people in any way he could. And he helped, not only did he help me understand that voicemail system, but he also had a feature inside there where as I build a network around the country, I could leave one message and shoot it out to all of them at the same time. I want you guys to realize something. This was back in 91 or 92, somewhere around there. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have any of those things. This was all done through the telephone line because we had Rory Rickard with that software brain of his, and he understood how it all works. It's just a big computer. Let's make it work for us. And so he also made a mistake that day, saying, "Now, if you ever need any help, call my personal line." So I did, like every other day, because even back then I had trouble with technology, right? Even though it was only the phone system. So I called him every day, every other day, probably for a couple of weeks. And he was always helpful. And he's always liked to teach whatever he could teach. But, something happened over those couple of weeks. We just hit it off, and, we became friends all the way back then. And when I had that first chance to meet him in Miami, we attended the same event, had dinner together. That's when I looked in his eyes, shook his hand, and seen this person live for the very first time. And I knew after listening to him and what he had to say that he had this uncanny ability to predict future trends and know what was coming. Some of it seemed a little crazy to me, but it all came true, right? I didn't know what we were going to be doing over the years, but I knew I would know this guy for the rest of my life, and I would be involved in some way, shape, or form. Come to find out, we just turned into best friends because we did a lot of great things over the years. Rory, when the internet came out in 93 or 94, that's when Rory really found his niche. He walked away from the telephone company, got online, and became one of the very first online gurus, right? The internet gurus, they call them. He was the lead generation guru. A lot of us, a lot of people out there, a lot of entrepreneurs trying to build their business, especially online when the internet hit the scene for us. And we tried a lot of other lead generation companies. No one could do what Rory Rickard could do. No one could produce the quantity or the quality of leads that Rory Rickard knew how to do. And he did it very, very well. So obviously he built a big business behind that because of his knowledge of how many people needed his service. But one thing Rory was all about was nurturing those relationships, doing everything the right way so everybody wanted to be in business with him, right? And that obviously became a huge industry for him and his wife, Tanya, the lead generation industry, something they're very, very good at. But a couple of years after that, he started building websites too. It went from this little flyer on the internet that we could add color to, and I thought that was neat. That was the greatest thing since sliced bread, because we could add add color to it. But then he started learning more and more and more, and there was a page behind the page, second generation stuff, and it just kept building, evolving, and getting better and getting better. And 15 years ago, he decided that he wanted to teach other people how to do what he does, and he started building this website that you guys are looking at today. And that thing's evolved over the years, where now it's just got to the point where there's hundreds of pages inside that main page. And every one of those pages represents another product or service that we get to take to the marketplace, not just building ourselves a great business, but having a positive impact on so many other lives. As you get to know the Rickards, you're going to find out that that's one of their passions, helping other people, true servant leaders that want to go out there and just touch 100 million lives and do everything we can to give them the kind of time freedom, financial freedom, and help them achieve their dreams and goals, whatever it may be. And so they're going to keep adding to the system and making it better every chance they get. Every dream they have, they'll put it in here so that they can help you achieve your dreams. A couple of years after meeting Rory, I got to meet his wonderful wife, Tanya. And when I flew out to Utah to meet her for the first time, I met another incredible person who was a young mom, raising 7 kids, running several businesses, but more organized than I've ever seen anybody in my life. But she also was just like Rory. She had this passion to help people and get to know people and what is it that people need in their lives, because these are 2 people who want to pay it forward to the rest of the world. Everything that all this success and all the time freedom and financial freedom that they've enjoyed raising their kids and building a business, they want to share that with everybody. They want to share it with as many of the people as they can. So that's what makes them the incredible power couple that they are. They start every day with meetings, and those of you that are on their calendar, you see that they have a meeting every single morning, and they talk about what's going on, what's happening right now, what can we do to make it better, what can we add to this system to help everybody else achieve their dreams. All we have to do is get plugged in, be as the best student that we can be, learn the system, put forth the effort. What you don't know, make up for an effort. That's what I did, and that's how I was able to succeed. I didn't have any background in this industry, but I had a work ethic that just made me want to get in there every single day, learn all that I could, and put forth as much time and energy as I could so that I could spend all the other time with my kids when they weren't in school. That's the system these 2 have put together. They're great human beings. I think it's really important that all you brand new people, and there was at least 17 brand new people that were able to open up their mics and a couple in chat. So we probably hit at least 20 brand new people again this week. Every week we have somewhere between 10 and 20 brand new people joining the family. And it's great to see you all, but I want to be the first to welcome you and tell you this. If you're looking for something to be a part of that'll help you achieve whatever your dreams and goals are, while you get to help a lot of other people along the way, then you found your home here. And all of us, Stacy, Linda, and Rory and Tanya, and all the other leaders that you're going to meet, we welcome you with open arms. Welcome to the RRR247 family. So over the years, we've become good friends. I call him my brother. I call her my sister. I know their kids. They know my kids. It's been 3 decades almost, 3 decades. And I get more respect for them and more appreciation for them as the time goes on. So it's my pleasure to introduce, I think, one of those co-founders to you right now, Mr. Rory Rickard. The microphone is yours, and we can't hear what you got to share tonight.
Niall, as always, thank you so much. And you guys, I really like how he brings this stuff up. You know, there's been a long road to get here. And, you know, looking back, it looks really straight. Like everything just went straight forward to where we're at, but it didn't feel that way all those years. I know you can probably relate to that, but I got to tell you, looking where things are at now, where the vision's built to, I cannot share enough gratitude for what we have. So I hope everybody's got a pen and paper handy. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of heads up of what's about to come this week, and then the next near weeks that we're going to be rolling out some things. There's a lot coming, okay? And I think if I can give you guys a little bit of a roadmap what to expect, you can share this excitement as it starts being given to you. So this week, tomorrow I'm already heading out there. I fly out to Texas. Tanya's staying back at the house to run stuff here and be grandma, Nona, as we call her. She will be also doing the training on Saturday. I'll get there in a second. So the Texas event is this weekend, Friday, and then really the big day for the training is Saturday, and then Sunday is the RRR247 event. All right, and so and you will need a ticket to get in. We will be locking the doors behind us. We're going to be in a closed room, and I'm going to be going into some very in-depth things with some new projects coming that really represent a huge impact of what we already have, and it's going to be like a tremendous addition. Okay, I'm spending my days right now pretty much on the phone with our new partners in these advertising directions and things that are going to help us build wine to whole different levels, and also build everything else that we do in a circular motion. So I wanted to really get you guys ready for it today, and I'll put this out there, and then instructors, make sure you're letting the students know. Tuesdays, these next Tuesdays are going to be very, very fast paced. They're going to need to be on them. We're going to record them, and then we're going to have a process for them that we're going to be rolling things out on Tuesday and doing some very in-depth recorded trainings on Saturdays. So I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through this in that ocean. So Texas events this weekend. There's going to be a great training on Saturday. Tanya's going to be training everybody on that early hour. It's 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain, 10 Central. You guys know the thing. Tanya's going to be on there doing a training. Okay, you guys, we don't hear from her a lot. She's going to be doing an hour training, and then we're going to go to the Wine Ambassador Hour, and Tanya's going to be on there with some special guests because Sheila, who we love to hear from, is going to be in Texas with her team. And we're going to be focused on that. Sheila will probably be with me that morning based on what's going on. So we're going to have some trainings on there, and you guys will get a little bit of a hint of some things to come. That's Saturday. And then at the next hour, so there's 3 hours of training, where there's going to be some V marketing training and from Peter Morley and some other MSIs that are also staying back from that event to help you guys get trained on Saturday. Okay. Now I'm going to bring up V marketing a lot today because every student should be participating in V marketing as part of your legs of marketing every single day, 6 days a week. and doing it in the process of just setting appointments for your instructor or your team of instructors to feed them and help that go. All right, you guys, we get great results from that, but it's also something you got to just do consistently. You just got to knock that out. If you're not building your business fast enough, you're not doing enough marketing, and you're not feeding your instructors that are there to help you grow. We have a lot of things in place that they can help you guys build with. Okay. So that's this Saturday coming up. And then I'm going to let you guys know we got a rollout coming out. It's going to be in the VIP system. We have a lot of VIPs here. I was looking at the role. There's a lot of VIPs on this training today. Okay. We have we have thousands of VIPs over the years that are in that system. We're going to be reaching out to a lot of them to make sure they have access to the new platform. And that new platform is, you guys know I plan things out far in the future, right? You know that Tandy and I are on this, and we are waiting for things to get done. We moved our trip from Puerto Rico, went out there because something was ready, right? And I think I tuned in. Did I share that with you? Did I share that yesterday? So we have a new thing being added to Wine Ambassador. It's an amazing marketing process, and I covered it with the instructors yesterday. So they have a heads up of what it is. Niall and I are going to be doing a lot of presentations, and we're going to get the marketing ready for it while we're out in Texas. So you guys know Niall and I will actually be knocking out some very critical details in Texas. We're going to be there for the whole month. It'll be Niall and I found a beautiful place for us to work from. We're going to knock out a lot of content. We got to cover a lot of ground, but we're rolling out 4 more additional projects that feed what we're doing. 4. I don't know. I'm gonna do my best to pound it all out. We've got to modify the new Grapevine system. I call it Grapevine 3.0. We're on 2.0 right now, but the 3.0 is going to it's going to be something that's going to be ready soon. But we're going to really roll out that information in June at the leadership retreat. It'll be in motion. We're going to be rolling the parts of it out as we can. A lot of it's already ready. Peter's been building that stuff out. But we're going to have a very dynamic marketing system in the Grapevine that's also going to allow us to market this incredible advertising process we're going to be part of. And I was on the phone with the guys today. We're going over the details and the specs. There's some things that are already done, some things got to get perfected and so forth. We're going to have a phases of rollout. And we literally should be able to start marketing it as early as this month, okay? So we're going to roll that out. We're going to have a lot of training on that, and we're going to train on that on Tuesday of next week. Some of you know what it is already. It might have been hinted out. We're going to start some training on it next Tuesday. And I'm basically letting you know the direction we're going with it, and you'll be able to see the device. We should have it running. And it's one of those things that it might take you a while to sit in what it means and how it's going to work, but I'm going to be able to walk you through that. Today was a very incredible day on that direction. All the contracts are being put into place. Everything's being secured. It's something that I want to make sure we've got our part of it protected should that company sell for $1 billion, $2 billion, whatever. Okay. It's that big of a project. All right. And I was telling the instructors yesterday, these things are things that I thought would come if we built this to a big size. Well, we're at a big size. All right. Don't be kidding yourselves, you guys. We represent some massive movement in marketing. And this is something that's going to roll out to this, and it's going to impact everybody that wants it to impact them. And it's going to be added to our compensation structure that we have with Wine Ambassador. The thing about owning that and having the technology piece is we can do whatever we want. While all roads lead to wine, wine is a very awesome seat at that table. And in creating this and leveraging resources that we have in the marketing space, we've negotiated to where we're going to have ads running for wine all over the world as we build the structure that's going to feed that Grand Cru rotation. I think I brought it up yesterday. If you guys are on the wine call, you know what I'm talking about, because I want to show it to everybody. I'm so excited we got this contract. There is bigger than you guys understand ramifications for this and the way that this is set up. It's gonna bring a lot of income to the family. Okay. And it's gonna add ongoing residuals and income on something that's just magical. Okay. So we're gonna cover that on Tuesday next week. Right. I'll say this, I dare you to miss it. Like, I dare you to miss it. It's something we're gonna have to like spend some time on the information, start getting pages ready, start figuring out how we're gonna deploy this, and it's gonna be a partnership meeting. That's what these Tuesdays really are. They're a student training meeting. You're our partners. We want to keep you up to speed. Today is kind of a planning meeting to let you guys know what the heck is coming. And it's all, you guys, I'll tell you how my life goes. Everything falls into place, and a lot of times they all fall into place at the same time. It's Murphy and I have a laughing game all the time. These things have been in motion for a while. Some of them had delays. We have delays in projects. I'm going to let everybody here know nothing's perfect. And marketing, when you're solving problems, hurdles come up, and it's those who overcome those that win. And I've just been able to solve a lot of problems over the years. We solve some of the biggest problems with what we already have, and that's getting awareness out there and building the components to make it work. We have some amazing minds as part of we have, our resources are pretty amazing. All right, so our inbound Goya team, they're going to be gaining some access there, and that's one project. Okay, the second project is getting that added, in addition to some other programs that are part of the RRR247 added to the Grapevine System 3.0. The Grapevine System that's what everybody in Wine Ambassador has access to. There's one that's $14.95. That's the minimum you need to use. And then the other one's a $59.95 that gives you a lot more access and resources and things that tie in. We are adding some more components to the follow-up process, but the Grapevine System is not just there to market wine. It's there to market anything that we decide we want to put in there. So it's going to market Bella Vita. It's going to market the Vivo watch. It's going to market this new advertising thing you guys are going to see on Tuesday. It's going to have follow-up systems for all of these built in. It's one thing we control that we can do massive amounts of things with, all to better drip and do ascension marketing and follow up with the customers we're bringing in for the marketing we do. Okay. And you guys, everything we're doing is based on team efforts and team building. Everybody here is tied to an instructors and tied to MSIs, master system instructors, and PSIs and GSIs in between. The reason why we've done that is it's been part of the vision from day one that we would have resources to allow everybody to win, even if they're not the ones that are going to do the talking and the presentation and the actual sales work. You have a job you can do to help feed that, to participate in that. And hopefully we grow you outside your comfort zone to help grow it. But sometimes you just got to get excited and then you push yourself outside that realm. We have so many stop guards in place that if you just do the V marketing and said, you don't need to talk to anybody, feed your instructor, it's going to grow. Okay, we already have massive action happening from that. I'm going to bring up again the V marketing. Now, V marketing, when you're doing the V marketing properly and you're creating those Trello cards of positive responders, those are the ones we're going to be adding into that Grapevine system, and they're going to have a tick on how those operate. We're going to be manipulating that on the back side. You guys just got to feed them in there, add them to the Grapevine. In addition to that, we're going to have separate landing pages that feed into the Grapevine for specific purposes, mainly so we can start not just doing B2C to the customer base, but B2B to businesses. We're adding, the third project is we have a TTY system that we're going to be rolling out as soon as the tracking's done and I build out the initial pages, which I'm working on. I've got testing going on and everything else. We'll roll that out sometime this month. One of these Tuesdays it's going to roll out, and it's going to be something we can take to businesses and especially government, cities and things like that. It's a service they need. A lot of them don't have it, and they're technically out of compliance. We just got to notify them of it. We're going to show you how to market it and get the word out. But it's also great for call for services and anybody that deals with deaf, handicapped, anybody that needs TTY services and language interpretation. Right? So just so you guys understand, there's more and more companies that need those services, and wait till you see what we get to offer and run. And these are all business to business contracts we have where we get paid on sign up, and we also get paid on renewals. These are long-term builds for us. Okay. And not everybody here is going to have access to maybe knowing how to market that, but we can get the word out there. We can drive the lead generation in there to have teams sell them on our behalf. Tracking is going to come through us so we know who to give credit for on that sell. We're opening up our doors for a lot more B2B services to be offered. Our e-marketing, e-business category is going to be growing a lot this month. Okay. It's awesome. Now, that's 3 topics, right? The 4th is we're going to be really starting to hone in on more of this living alkaline, alkalinity directions and keywords, really to help promote both the wine and Bella Vita. Okay, and I think and I'm just going to put the direction we're going to go on. I'm seeing the trends that's there, and you know, as I've been enjoying my cat in the mornings, man, it makes you feel good, right? I have my plus, I have my youth, I have my cat, and I have the youth first. 10 minutes later, I'm usually doing coffee and my plus and my cat, right? Cucumber, avocado, tomato. And you guys will see a lot more of that stuff coming out there and living that. But you know what? Little things are what's part of it. And that's going to give us a great theme in that regard to go. So you're going to be seeing that constantly coming out. We'll be sharing that information out and pushing on that. That's the 4th thing, is it's a theme. The thing about having a theme is you can write one page after another, doing a different keyword, key phrase, and building content in that direction. All is going to help us with traffic, all to help boost up our health and fitness category. Okay. The 5th thing, this project's phenomenal. It's something I've been telling you guys was coming. They're pretty much ready. So we're going to start doing rollouts in the following sequence. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the dates, because it's really important you guys start making plans always to attend the Tuesdays. And then also you're going to want to be attending the Saturdays. And I'm going to speak this out to Niall, Stacy, Sheila, all of our MSIs, Linda, everybody. The month of April and May, we're going to be spending a lot of time at the 1 o'clock hour. That's the Eastern hour. So 11 Mountain, 10 Pacific. It's our 3rd hour of training. We're going to be doing a very high-end training with some new partners to RRR247 in regards to wealth management, and a whole different horizon of projects that we're going to have access to that I'm making available to you guys as part of RRR247. We've negotiated an amazing thing, and they're going to be offering something that everybody's going to get for, it's about a $5,000 value. You guys are all getting it. All the VIPs are going to get it. We're going to make it available to them. But I'm going to let you guys all be trained on it. So you see, when you're ready to go into the VIP access, something you're going to be getting. And I've been telling you guys, we're going to be bringing these amazing professionals in to help you guys with how to protect your finances, your investments, your retirements, and everything else. Knowledge is power, and having the right team behind you is amazing. Having the right CPA, the right law firms, but this is going to some different areas, and we're going to have some education done on it. The other thing that's really good about it is we're going to know what's going to be the best for you guys. And we got different age groups that are represented here in the family, but a lot of people don't have access to the proper information, and that alone depicts how you're going to live in 20 years versus whether it's great or amazing or being broke because you did some bad investments. Having people overlook that and maintain that has some credibility to it. We've got a great, I'll call it it's a very, very big exchange. And this is tied in, and it is made possible based on, who I know, who I've done business with for a long time, and working with the former Utah Attorney General, who is part of RRR247 now. These things happened. All right. It's very, very big, very, very exciting. It's also something that most people do not understand or have access to. These are services that usually go to the filthy rich. I'm not kidding. There's a reason their money grows better. They have people maintaining it. Well, we're opening up a whole different spectrum here. We're going to be doing it behind the VIP interface. However, when I talked to them today, I told them the way that we operate, I want every one of my students to have access to the knowledge because it's something we can write about, and it gives benefits to people that come through the system. And also, the intention is to help people here. And if you do the system, follow the system, you're going to get what I get. If you do what I do, you're going to have money. And what you do with it matters. This is going to give you that guidance for it. So it's part of understanding that. And even if you can't participate in it, it's going to give you a dream and a goal to strive for. And I'll tell you, I'll push myself even harder, and it is possible. I've found that I can push myself to pass out. Well, I'll push myself even harder if I have a goal of something I want to participate in. And sometimes it's just, you know what? I want ownership of that activity over there. I want to be part of that because I see where it's going. What do I need to make that happen, right? And how can I create new cash flow to accommodate that? Just knowing there's other things out there and what it can provide is amazing. A lot of us are in that scope. You know, I'm a grandfather, right? I got the third on the way, and that little bugger will be here in September. Another Virgo. In case I haven't mentioned, I'm very happy about it. But you start looking at your legacy and leaving money for your generations. And then I was communicating, with my buddies, and I got a really good friend. He's worth a lot of money, and he's got two beautiful little girls, and they're like 10 and 12. And he's going over trust structuring and everything else that he's doing. And man, there's a lot you can do to protect your kin from demise of themselves and releases of where those funds are. It's pretty amazing. They basically get some type of allowance. He's got allotments based on what they do in their life and timelines and that and things that were set up by his father for his grandkids. And I was listening to this as far as advice because I want to structure similar things, right? And if you do it right, it can last for generations and generations and generations. And based on where we're building things or where we're able to create income that's going to come in even after we're not here. And if we protect it properly, it can continue to come in and it can continue to grow and help your family even when you're not here anymore. If that's not important to you, I don't know why it wouldn't be, but there's understanding that a lot of people don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. A lot of this training is going to cover those areas. Okay, so we're going to have a rollout. You're going to get to meet some incredible guys behind this. You're going to meet our partners that are going to be running all this, overseeing it for us on the 26th of April. Then we're going to do a rollout, or then we're going to do a training. It'll be 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's the third hour of training on the 30th of April. I hope you guys are writing this down. I don't usually give you guys a rollout schedule, but this stuff is highly important, and so I'm going to. All right. Then on the 3rd of May, it's a Tuesday. They're going to come on. We're going to do another introduction and kind of like let you know what's going to cover that Saturday. Then on the 7th of May, we're going to do another training at that third hour, covering that specific thing. The 10th of May, it's a Tuesday. We're going to roll out them again and have another introduction. Then we're going to actually launch that in the training at 1 p.m. or the third hour of training on the 14th of May. Then we're going to take a week off. There's some awesome stuff coming on the 17th of May that you guys, that is a surprise, as long as I can bite my tongue. And that was already pre-scheduled. So we're going to do the next one on the 24th of May at this hour. And then we're going to do a follow-up training on the third hour on the 28th of May. And that should pretty much get everybody the information to know where that's at. And that'll be for current and then ongoing. And those will be recorded and put into a training process in the VIP area on Rory7.com. It's an ongoing thing. Okay. We have access to our own advisors for all that. Everything's set up that way. And it's all done on I guess I would call it like it's a service consignment, meaning there's no obligation. That's what we've signed up for. We have access to education and information about all these things, but we aren't paying consulting fees. I've taken care of that. This is so everybody has information for that and where to go. Some people are, you're retired, you might have a 401k or some other things, and you would see what you can do with that versus what it's doing now, right? These are experts in that field, and I use experts to control my money and where I put my investments, and then I invest in my own things, of course, but having the right people helping you do that makes a difference. These guys' track record is incredible, and they work for another marketing friend of mine and his client base, and that's and through my other attorney, we got this introduction to him, worked out the arrangements. It's already a done deal. Okay, so we roll out these trainings. It's also going to be something we can add into what we do in the marketing. So it'll come under the e-business, e-marketing category. Again, we're going to spend a lot of time in that category over the next 60 days. And it's going to be some great buzzwords and some lead generation on it. And then we're going to really see how we can tie a lot of that in as far as reach and other things that we do here. Okay. Now, I've got it planned out in my mind how it's going to go. I've got specs and specs. I got several sheets of specs. Me and Google Docs have been very busy and working this stuff out there. So as a partner, I want you guys just to know these things are coming out there, and we're going to do it as much as we can in our manner where here it is. I'm going to explain it. Here's the pages. You guys take it, modify it, roll it out. But also you're going to be gaining a lot of information in this area. Okay. And then there's another side to this, more opportunity for a lot of our members here. And I'll slowly get to that after this is rolled out. So this is a multi-rollout plan. And it's been concise on how we're going to do it. And we're going to be executing on it. But by the end of May, everybody here will have an access point to understand what this is going to mean. Okay. And if you're not qualified or you don't think you're ready for it yet, that's the funny thing about it, right? And I was thinking about this today, and I got really serious. Because I know where I came from and my lack of understanding and investments when I was younger, and then I had some great mentors that set some things up, and I've had some pretty good wins. In fact, I started putting money away in my teens, and I got really aggressive and stacked it away. So that, when I was in my early 30s launching RRR247, and we knew we needed a lot of resources and stuff to fit out there, we already had the means to make it all happen. And it all came from proper investment and letting my money grow, triple, double, quadruple, 8 times, 10 times, 20 times. It grew in that 12, 13-year period from the stuff I started as a teenager. And had I not put the money aside then to grow things, we wouldn't have been able to grow our internet online businesses and our lead generation businesses. We wouldn't have the funds to go bigger on the ad spends and whatever else. And I was thinking about this, and I was like, man, I know a lot of people understand that if you would have started younger, and even putting away $50, $100, man, the differences you could have had. Well, there's never a point where it's really too late to start, but it's also one of those things where, okay, if I can make an extra $500, an extra $1,000, an extra $2,000 a month, and if I were to put it in this for the next 2 years, what does that give me? What does that look like? Because here at RRR, we're teaching how to create cash flow. And the biggest problem I see, right, is what I call taste. And I brought this up before. It's something I've gone over. I had a really good recording that we used to start everybody off with this, and I'll work on that again. But I'll tell you the thing with taste, and this is why I really like to relate with wine and the patient process. But taste is you have a taste of a lifestyle, you have a taste of an income, you have a taste of a monetary gain. Okay. Money is just money. It doesn't depict who we are. It's a tool, right? And easier said than done, Rory. I see it. I hear it. I can see some of you guys, you go through there, but money is a tool. And if you know how to access it and you have more of it, you can do more with it. The more money you have, the more people you can help. Tanya and I couldn't help you guys. We couldn't have created this even from the beginning if we didn't have the financial means to do so. If I didn't have the resources to tap in, to build all this stuff out and grow the stuff that I knew how to grow and make the right decisions. I mean, if we didn't have the means to jump in and do what we did with wine, I mean, all these things were possible because of affluence and overabundance. And the more of us that have it in the community, the more good we can pay it forward and help others. And the more stable we are, the more we can help others. It's like you guys have heard the analogy with the airplane, right? And you got the mass that come down, right? And you've got little kids around, you put it on yourself first before you help anybody else, including the little babies. Because if you pass out, you can't help them anyway, right? Well, financially, it's got to be there. And the thing called taste is where you get used to your income and you value what you think you're worth to the world because you've never made more than $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. And subconsciously, that's your personal taste. If you've never made $5,000 a month, you don't know what it tastes like. It's like if you've never had beef, I can't even pronounce that. So let me say something else. I love that. If you haven't had beef Wellington, not a bad dish. You don't know what it tastes like because you haven't tried it, right? But if you haven't had $5,000 a month coming in, you don't know what it's like because you never had $5,000 a month. Same goes for 10 grand, same goes for 20 grand, same goes for 30 grand a month. If you never had that much money coming in, you don't know how that feels and what the taste is like. And you might say that sounds really nice, yet your activities, your actions, your response to things, usually you have a thermometer that says, hey, I've made my 3 grand for the month. That's the most I've ever made in my life. That's what I'm worth. And you stop working, you stop performing, and you almost sabotage your business. I watch it happen. And I've watched it happen for years. I watched it happen before we did RRR. I watched it with my consulting with customers. I watched the leaders I worked with in my voicemail company, and I would be working. And I watched people go from poverty to 150 grand a month in just a matter of a couple of years. Okay, using my marketing systems, I can go into it more. But I watched them go, and the ones that got there and deserved it, most of them didn't have a taste for that. But they had a really true desire and they pushed themselves past taste. Somewhere they got themselves to believe they deserved it and they're going to get it, and they had plans to do with it. And they weren't trying to be horrible people. They helped a lot of people, usually their family. A lot helped their family, right? They bought mom a house. They paid mom's mortgage off. They bought mom a new car. She never had a new car her whole life. The stories are awesome. And then they were able to just grow and influence and help others to give them a better lifestyle and a better quality of life. Okay, that's what we're supposed to do here. I don't think we're supposed to be on this planet to just exist and take up space and eat and consume and create waste. We're supposed to be growing together, impactful, learning, right? Fortunately and unfortunately, we need a vehicle called currency so that we can exchange and make things better. Everything costs money. There's an exchange for it. Air costs money, right? Clean air apparently costs more money, and all these things are happening, and things are there, and you guys, there's a better way, and I can go into the whole aspect of this, but taste is one of those things, and it's funny. There's a couple points I've seen in my life going back that got people over their taste. One of them, sure, more money coming in, something happened where they were following a system, and it's almost like they didn't think it would work, and it worked. And all of a sudden they had a win that popped their income up. And then they got a taste for like another $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Then they somehow start realizing, hey, this is pretty cool. This is pretty nice. I can do all this. And then the self-growth was kicking in, and they're able to grow past it. The other thing too is they start putting money aside, or they start investing, they start understanding what that means. And when you go from having no savings to 10,000 in savings, to 20,000 in savings, now your tastes start changing because you feel more secure, because if all hell breaks loose in your life, I got a pretty good safety belt, I can access if I need to, but it's building, that's there, and it pushes your taste. And so I wanted to give you guys access to tools like that you can do. And you guys, there's things that I'm going to be showing you guys. And I'll always say that, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I can tell you what I do and what I would do if it was me. But, even $50 a month or a week in the cryptocurrencies, the top 10 or the top 25 even, good place to put it, right? Sacrifice, look at yourself and say, well, I go out a couple times a week. Maybe I can eat in, or I can eat the leftovers instead. And I'll put that $25 I would have put in a meal, I'm going to put it into Bitcoin. Or I'm going to put it in Ethereum, or I'm going to put it into Cello, or I'm going to put it into that Shiba Inu, or whatever that's called, right? And you just set it aside and call it an investment into yourself and your future to see what it does. And obviously, don't quit building your business, keep growing. And if you start doing that, you're going to start changing your taste, even if it's little bits. But there's thresholds in taste, and there's thresholds in growth, right? And you go through a plateau and you learn and you start seeing, and it sounds great, but then you start getting believability as you see it start to take effect. And that will help adjust things. And it's little things that make a difference always, right? And you're not going to set aside $10,000 tomorrow, most likely. That'd be great. You're going to put 50 bucks away, 100 bucks away, and watch it grow. And then you start getting yourself into a pattern of, well, I'm going to push a little harder so I can save a little bit more. It kind of becomes a game. And there's ways you can do it with the maximum tax security and all that. And that's what these guys are going to be teaching you, is the ways of how the wealthy put their money away and grow it. And they're going to do it for everybody we put in through the VIP door. So they know that you have at least a little bit of education on the stuff that's here. So it's worth their time to work with you. And you guys don't need to spend a lot of money to go there. And you also don't need to worry about putting big $1 million investments up. This is sized for us based on where we're at and where we're going. And then it's going to make me feel really good, like I've completed something that was on my to-do list, because I wanted to make sure we had the financial tools to help you guys make money, but also how to keep it and get it to grow for you, so you're gaining from all of this work. It's about wealth creation, time and financial freedom. Financial freedom it comes when you have a lot of cash flow coming in and you're growing things to where you are more than fine and you're not living paycheck from paycheck, and you literally can go years without money if you need to. That's financial freedom. And once you learn how to create cash flow, which is what you should be learning here, you never will be broke. If you know how to market and how to participate in marketing, you'll never be broke. You'll always have a way to generate revenue. And then you can start focusing on the directions that I'm trying to teach everybody here, that we're trying to teach everybody here, because it's a bought-in thing of multiple income streams. And the way we have that PBS brilliant system that allows us to plug and play everything into it, we can create more and more income streams to share and grow with. I know you guys see it, but it's fun to share it with you over and over again, because when you're brand new, you need to see that's with the goal. Those that have been here for a while, you're seeing it happen. And now that we have a very amazing foundation, when we add the right things to it, we're adding more potential, not creating more overhead. Right? You guys, there's a business model you guys have here with RRR247 that unless you had a business background, you wouldn't understand how great it is. But let me just share it with you for the next couple minutes. If you're doing everything I do, which is what you should be doing, okay? You've got your hosting, which is, let's call your hosting 20 bucks a month. Let's say you're on the VIP hosting for 20 bucks a month. You're getting wine. You get your 4 bottles, it's like $130 a month of shipping. We're up to, what are we up to? 150 bucks. You're getting Velveeta. I'll call it 100, even though you could get by with less, but we'll call it 100 bucks. That's 250. I take all 4 boxes. I don't even know what I spend, but it's worth it. I just ordered a bunch now to ship to me in Texas, because I ran out of plus, because I gave out some samples and I had somebody buy a box and then another box, and then I forgot I didn't have enough extra. So I had to ship some to me in Texas, guys. Great problem to have. By the way, Plus is helping people lose weight, just so you know. Okay, so we're up to 300 bucks. Then we have like the Vivo watch, right? Which is 30 bucks. That's 330. That's pretty much all our outgoing costs, really. That's 330. Let's just round it up, right? And let's say we picked up a little bit more overhead and some of the stuff that we're doing. Maybe our power bill is up a little bit because we're on the computer more. Let's just call it $400 and round it up for $400. Let's be crazy. Maybe you're ordering more Velveeta. You know what? I'm going to raise it even more. You should be traveling to our events, at least a couple of them a year. Let's say it's $200 a month, so that's $2,400 a year for airfare and hotels. That's a business expense you should have. So let's say you're spending $600 a month. That's your overhead. Now, you have access to all the paid marketing you can eat, your teams can eat, and everything else from what Tanya and I have given you. That, the more you use it, the more value you get from it, that's going to help offset that anyway, and then you start growing. As you start getting your organizations growing and you start getting customers from the blogging and start growing that, Google AdSense, you get Google AdSense on there. Google AdSense is going to start being 10 bucks a month, 50 bucks a month, 100 bucks a month, 200 bucks a month. It's going to start eating that away. You get 3 customers into wine, your wine goes down to shipping only. You get 4 or 5 customers, your wine's free. It's really easy to eliminate what your business overhead is and then get into profits. But whether you make $0 or you make over $1 million a year even, or even 2 million or 3 million with this, your overhead doesn't go above $600 a month. That's also overhead that you can write off against your income, and that's all your incomes. So if you do have a job or and I was covering this in my other presentation stuff that I did before, I've created pages on it, right? And I'm going to be focusing on that a little bit more to understand it. You've got a vehicle that can create great profits. The overhead maxes at say 600. And you can write off your travel, you can write off all that stuff, and then you're going to be earning and learning and growing and gaining more on how to be a better you, a better business person, a better human being in what we do. And you're going to be learning how to create more and more affluence in all aspects of life. And you cannot do that in any other business aspect that I've seen with the potential we have here. I can't. I can't see it. So I put that in that perspective because it's based on the taste, right? So if you look at that, if you need to be profitable and you need to make 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 20,000, whatever it is that your goals and your desires wish to have, you know what to do here to make that happen. We've got a roadmap to do it. We can visually plan it out, and then we can figure out what we need to do to make those actions happen. And then as you're growing that, right, and you're getting that affluence coming in, it's best to know what to do with that extra money when you're paying all your bills and covering your expenses so that you can start packing things away so you can be protecting you, your future, your family, and their future for generations. It's all possible. And it doesn't matter when you're starting, as long as you get it going and apply to it. You can save millions of dollars sooner if you start sooner, or if you put more in. Compound interest still going to kick in, growth is going to happen there. And what I like to focus on, just to be clear, cash flow is king. The more income streams coming in, the more I can do with those, and I can grow and grow and grow and invest in those to make them grow, bigger. The potential to make 20, 30 grand a week is totally here. It's been done before. It's being done now, and you can start building more. And once you make, 80, 88 grand a month, you're over $1 million a year. Your overhead, $600. It's all here. Back to taste. You don't think you deserve to be a millionaire? Well, just stick around long enough, and we're going to help you see what you can do with that. We'll help you grow into that. That's that taste. We all have childhood issues with money. Odds are, as you came from an environment where things were tight, money is a problem with you in some regard. You weren't able to get that dollhouse you wanted. You weren't able to get that racetrack you wanted. Maybe you couldn't get those shoes, that clothes, and you saw it as your parents don't have the money, and dang it, they didn't have enough of something. We all have a relationship with money, and if you have a taste situation where you can't get past a certain thing, there's usually something negative that ties to the money in your life. Rory's not a psychiatrist, but I'm going to tell you this, it's usually spot on. And you'll go back. I went back because I had a moment in my life where I always had the money I needed, but I never had more. Something would come up and I needed to come up with 20 grand to do something that I wanted to do, and boom, I'd get 20 grand. I might need $21,500. I get $21,500. Always had it, always could flow. And I sat down with a great mentor, and he says, Rory, you have the ability to do so much, but man, there's something blocking you, and I guarantee it's from your childhood. And so I went back, and you know what? I remember hearing from family members, extended family members, how you don't deserve more than you need. And I started focusing on it, and then realized, man, that's just a bunch of crap, right? How can I help anybody if I can't, get all my stuff? I went through a transition period, a lot of meditation and self-growth, read a lot of books, and I switched to asking for overabundance when I manifested, and poof, I had more than I needed. I had enough to help everybody that needed stuff around me, and it just changed everything based on me putting that out there on what I deserved. It's a taste thing. So we're going to be adding great products to market. We're going to be adding great things that's going to help us all have the ability to create more and more wealth. And to be responsible in the VIP access area, I'm going to get you guys access to some incredible wealth management tools, things that are very amazing as far as protecting you for taxes, not paying too much in taxes, all legal, but it's knowledge is power, right? What you don't know hurts you, especially in money. So we're going to have access to that, and there's going to be ways that we can utilize it to market and bring more value to what we're offering to the marketplace. In addition, in case you guys didn't know this, there's not anything that we have access to that isn't something we can market. Everything is reciprocal for me that way. Everything is circular. Also, I like to see other income streams be a potential thing that's there, even if it's just advertising stuff, bringing them in. And, you know, I wanted to be fiscally responsible with you guys too. I helped a lot of people create a lot of wealth in the 90s and did very well doing so. And when I look back and I've touched base with people, I saw people that made millions of dollars and today they have nothing. Nothing. They didn't save anything. They didn't put it away. They lived like literal rock stars, bought fancy cars, fancy homes. And then when things turned and their business didn't keep producing because they weren't prepared, they only had one income stream, by the way. That's why we do multiple. They didn't know what else to do. And they lost everything they worked their butts off for. Well, if they would have protected it better, they would have invested better. They could have gotten a situation where I have like friends now. I have other friends that they lost that income, but they were able to put stuff away that they were able to divest and invest in other things that grow more cash flow than what they had before because they were smart with how they spent their money. What you do with $10,000 and what I do with $10,000 might be far from different. Some of us know how to grow that to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, and others of us know how to have a great time with it and maybe do some good, but not create a way that keeps it reciprocating. There's a lot of things that need to come out to that, and it all comes to an overall thing of taste. And there's habits, right? And you know, I'll put this out there in closing today. Today was an information about stuff coming. I want you guys to be ready. Okay. If you're not investing or putting money away, it's never going to happen. It'll just never happen. You'll just keep putting it off and putting it off. Time goes by no matter whether we want it to or not. We don't need to put an investment of time away because it's just going to go. It just goes. Okay. And even if it's a little bit, $50 a week, $50 a month, $200 a month, whatever, that you're setting aside into a good savings situation, growth situation, you're going to get somewhere. It's just like consistency. If you're doing something to grow your PBS business every day, it's going to get somewhere. If you keep putting it off, it's not going to go anywhere. I know I'm sounding like Captain Obvious, but I want to make sure you guys understand it's little things that make a big difference. Little things make a difference. So I want to stress those habits. I want to work on that millionaire mindset with you guys because it gets there. You know, I had little things I would put aside, even $100 a month, $200 a month on auto pay, and just forgot about it. Well, they're worth a lot of money today, and they grew. There's little things like that, you guys, and I just wanted to make sure that we guys get access to that knowledge and everything that's there to roll out, and also more and more aspects on the way we're marketing. And I think if you guys understand there's more you can do as you bring more money in, I'm hoping, I want to tell you what my agenda is. Agenda is give you guys access to some great wealth products. The other part of that agenda, the stronger part of that agenda, is I know that once you get a taste of that, it's going to alter your overall taste. It has to. It'll feel good. It'll feel right. And you can overcome that. So I challenge everybody from today until, I won't be on Saturday. So the next time we're going to talk with me, unless you guys see me live in Texas, which would be awesome, is next Tuesday. Okay. It'll be next Tuesday. Except for the instructors, you'll see me on Monday, right? Next Tuesday, though, I'm going to come on there, and between now and next Tuesday, I want to be able to look you guys in the eye like I do now, and I scroll through stuff that's on the cameras, and I want you guys to spend some time on your relationship with money. And I want you to go back to your childhood, and I want you to go look at what your life was in scope and write some things down that may see why you are affected by money today, and try to isolate and figure out what that is, right? If we don't know what it is, we can't overcome it. I'm not a counselor, and if this puts you into a violent situation, please go get some professional help. I think Jim would be happy with me saying that when I go into this. I'm gonna say that there's some torment from childhood. A lot of us have it, right? I'll put it this: it's more common than it should be. It's way more common than it should be. And it could be as little as a trigger of you might have had some doll, a toy car, and you were told that you couldn't get it because they didn't have the money for it. That set the bad precedent in your mind that you weren't worth something that you wanted, and it gave you a bad relationship with money. And there might be several of those. If I could count on my hand, on every finger, how many times I was told I couldn't get something because my parents didn't have the money for it, I would run out of hands. I would run out of times using everybody here's fingers right now to share with me. I did something different. I took it upon myself to go get what I wanted. Not everybody does that. Not everybody has this capability to do it, or the wherewithal, or the means, or the resources, or the mentors help them step up. So I want you to go back and do all that, because we're going to beat through this taste. It's one of the most frustrating things for me personally when I'm trying to help and teach and share with everybody is that I see some of our amazing instructors like working really hard, and they hit to a certain point and it's like they can't get past that threshold. I see students do the same thing. I see students I work with, and it's the same thing. There's that threshold. What you make does not depict your worth or who you are. All it does is let you know you've got something to overcome and grow so you can become better at where you want to be. You're going to get that goal you want to be. The world is more available for resources, and I mean income streams, than ever before. This freaking internet and what it gives us to do and where it's going and all these other new services coming out are making it easier for us in marketing, especially, to gain. So we need to open up to allow that to happen and get rid of what we're doing that's more self-sabotage. I did it. I lived through it. I try to go back every now and then and look where there's a hurdle that's there. And you guys, our minds are very, very powerful, right? If we think it, we can do it. The power of thought. This entire program we have, our RRR247, started out with an idea, concept, a direction. Bad night with me and God, right? Figure things out. And then all these things fell into place. Thoughts are powerful. And if you use them to hurt yourself, whether you mean to consciously or not, or you use it to grow past it to go forward, that's up to you. But I'm going to just challenge you to go through that. Look at where your childhood is. Focus on the one thing. What's your relationship with money? And what's your relationship with having it come into your life more? Because that is going to help open up the whole taste thing. I know how we are here, because we attract a certain type of person. We're very God-loving, self-giving. We like to help others. That's who we are. To do that more and to put more into that and create the happiness that creates, we got to take care of us. We got to figure out that relationship with money. God bless you guys. I leave in the morning for Texas. I cannot wait to see a lot of you. My hugging arms are very strong, so be ready. Be ready, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday on that training, and keep up with the weekend trainings. You guys, Tanya has some goodies for you, and you guys know she prepares like crazy. So be on that if you can be there, and then everybody else, see you in Texas. Bye for now.